So first one of the day, we have got this Crossfire in, and we are going to do our winter protection package on it. It's 12-month glass coating, 12-month paint protection. We're going to start off with cleaning the wheels. In here we have got Infinity Wax's wheel shampoo. So we're going to spray this on, let it do its thing. We've got that in the IK sprayer. Go through with some fallout remover from Work Stuff Detailing. This stuff's actually pretty good. I gave it a try last week. Just let that do its thing. So what that's going to do is it's going to remove all the iron particles. See how it's turning red? So normally when it turns red, that's obviously where the iron particles are, but you need to be careful because some companies will release the stuff and it will turn red even if there's no iron particles there. See how it's starting to turn red? Obviously some products that you get, they don't bleed at all, but most people like this because it looks pretty cool. We're going to put a little bit of foam on and just let that dwell. So that foam there, in case you were wondering, was from ECA, then neutral foam. I'll get our brushes, chuck them in there. So then you're going to scrub your tyres just to give them a clean. Just remove all the dirt. You're going to start with the arches and just give them a scrub with our toilet brush. It's not really a toilet brush, I'm just kidding. Now we're going to get our barrel brush, which is this bad boy. And we're going to come in here like this and just scrub inside the barrels. Just get behind all them spokes too. Obviously if this one's too big for the space that you're working in, you can get smaller ones and they look a little bit like that. And that just will get in any hard to reach area. We're going to get our mitt and we're just going to mitt our faces. Make sure they're nice and clean. This is the other thing, guys, right? So a lot of people are scared of using acid. Acid is perfectly fine on wheels as long as you don't leave it on too long and you've mixed it to the right ratio. A lot of damage is caused when people aren't using acid correctly, so they'll leave it on too long and it'll bake on and it'll start just eating into the wheels. Other than that, acid is completely fine. Get all in these gaps in through here. We're going to take this little brush and we're just going to hit the caliper, give it a little clean. Then we're just going to give it a rinse off. Look, start with the arches and then do the wheel, because otherwise if you do the wheel and then the arches, all the dirt from the arches is going to fall onto the wheel. Then you're going to rinse the tyre off. All inside. Done your wheels, you're going to move on to the pre-wash stages. What we're going to do with that is we're going to apply citrus, let that dwell. We're going to top it with a foam. This citrus is again from ECA. We're using an IK sprayer. You're just going to let that sit. What that's going to do is it's going to remove all the loose dirt and it prevents you from like scratching your car and stuff and digging stuff into your paintwork when you come along with the mitt and the shampoo. So obviously I know a lot of people will just snow foam it and then they'll mitt the snow foam. Guys, what you need to remember okay, is snow foam doesn't carry lubrication. It's the shampoo. And you follow through with the snow foam. Again, still part of the pre-wash stages. So just leave that on a couple of minutes and let it, you know, work. Start to bring all the dirt off and eat away at it. Look at that sunrise, isn't that lovely? It's going to be a nice day today. And then you just simply rinse this off. Right, so we've rinsed that off. Now what we're going to do, okay, so normally on a typical car, obviously this is convertible, but normally on a typical car what you should do is you should split it into 3 sections: top, middle, bottom. That way you're not cross-contaminating and you're not pulling the dirt up from the bottom to the top, because obviously the bottom is going to be dirtier than the top, so you don't risk scratching the vehicle's paint. Okay, now obviously shampoo is what carries the lubrication. The more slip in it, the better it is. To do it, straight lines, not like this, because you're gonna risk causing swirl marks and other paint defects. You can come through the middle of the car and then the bottom. But obviously what I like to do is I like to change the mitt out, just because it reduces that risk when you're going around the bottom edges of the car. And then we rinse. It's rinsed. Obviously we move on to the decontamination stage. So what that consists of is a fallout remover to remove any iron deposits, tar and glue remover to remove the likes of tar, glue, all that type of stuff. And then the next stage would be a clay bar. Now a clay bar obviously you would only use if your vehicle's paintwork sounds rough. There are guys out there that will clay it all the time, and you don't need to, because what can actually happen if you don't use the correct clay bar, you're going to end up marring the paint, which then leads to it needing to be machine polished. All out, you just spray it on, and then your tar and glue, you'd come round and you would spray it onto a cloth and then just wipe it in. But back to claying, obviously you only clay when you absolutely need to. If the car sounds like sandpaper or it's got a rough texture to it, put the clay bar on it. What that does is that pulls out any embedded contaminants that's in your paintwork. So this is obviously having a glass coating. So what we're going to do, what we got here is like a liquid clay. So we're just going to clay the windows, and that's going to remove any dirt that's on these windows and just make sure that they're clean. The reason why I'm doing this as part of the wash process is obviously that will need to be rinsed off. So we're going to let the fallout just work, and then by the time that's done, this will be done too, and this will be ready to be rinsed off. And again, you just simply rinse. Then you're just going to dry it. So obviously I'm using a twisted loop from Auto Bright. It's pretty good. I quite like these because they hold a lot more water than sort of your normal sort of plushy towels. Again, straight lines. That's done. Obviously we're ready to apply your protection. Now obviously on the market there is so many different levels of protection, from waxes to long-term hard waxes to graphene waxes, spray sealants, that last a matter of weeks to months, to long-term spray sealants that are SiO2 coatings. Obviously SiO2 stands for silica dioxide, and then the O2 stands for oxygen. What that is, that's the hardness within a ceramic coating. But a spray ceramic sealant is not a true ceramic. And then obviously you've got your ceramic coatings, which a lot of people tend to be more inclined to go that way, but today we're putting a ceramic spray sealant on it. And then obviously on the other end of things you've got paint protective film. That's a whole different conversation to be had. All you're going to do, 2 sprays per panel, fibre cloth, just wipe it in across the panel, and then you'll flip it over and you'll just buff it off. It's that simple. Obviously true ceramics, they're applied a lot differently, and there's a lot more prep work involved. I mean, there are guys out there, right, that would literally take a true ceramic coating and they wouldn't even do any prep work. They would just they wouldn't do no paint correction, no machine polishing. They would just apply that ceramic. I have a very strong view on that actually you don't apply it unless you've done the proper prep work. Why would you seal in defects into a car long term? So I try to advise people that I'll go 12 months because like a 12-month spray ceramic sealant, but I won't go above that with a true ceramic unless you have the proper prep work done first. So obviously I'm just using a ceramic spray sealant by Auto Bright. Sealant right there is the key word. It is in no means a true ceramic coating, and anybody that's selling it to their customers as a true ceramic, well, let's just say that's what's wrong with the industry, isn't it, really? Because you're mis-selling them, you're giving them false information. On the wheels we're just going to use Infinity Wax's Express Sealant. Obviously make sure you dress your tyres. So we got this little brush thing. We bought this for like £7 from ECA, and the tyre stuff I'm using is from Auto Bright again. Right, so now we're going to apply a window sealant. This is a 12-monther. It's called Glacco by Soft 99. And you just put it on. So what that's going to do is when you're driving and it's raining, let's just say, all the water is going to bead off and it's going to run off, so you're going to use your wipers a lot less. So crisscross pattern, just so that you get an even coverage. So obviously you leave it a couple of minutes and then you just buff it off.
Perfect.